That is the new Mazda CX-5. It looks exactly the same on the outside and on the inside as the old one, but I'm going to tell you what's different and why I think you'll like this one even more. So the looks haven't changed, but to be fair, this second generation CX-5 was only launched in 2017. So while we call this the new CX-5, it's really only an update, and a really small one at that. And look, that's cool because it looks pretty darn good. That grille, those headlights, and that profile. There aren't many mid-sized SUVs with lines that sleek and that clean. The only thing I'm not a major fan of is the back of it. These taillights look just a little bit too tiny, but they do accentuate these rear haunches. The boot, 442 litres, as with the old one. It's not the biggest in the class, it's not the smallest in the class. The Toyota RAV4 is bigger than that. The Volkswagen Tiguan's also bigger than that. Still, it's not bad. Let me show you the cabin. Okay, now see this swoopy roofline? It looks really cool from the outside, but it actually makes getting kids in and out just a tiny bit harder, and also harder for giants like me to get in. But legroom in the back is excellent. This seat's in my driving position. I'm 191 centimeters tall, and that's pretty good space. Look, it's not limo territory, but it's also not a clown car. The CX-5 lineup is also the same. There's the entry-level Max, the Max Sport, the Touring, the GT, and at the top of the range is the Akira, which is the one that we're in here. All CX-5 cabins have a premium feel and a super high level to their fit and finish, but the top spec Akira, which we see here, and the GT, with its identical insides, take things a bit further. Standard on these two top grades is that 7-inch screen with a 10-speaker Bose sound system, leather seats with power adjustable and heated ones up front. What sets the Akira apart from the GT is its advanced safety equipment. There's adaptive cruise control, AEB which works at higher speeds, lane keeping assistance and lane departure warning, but that was also the case for the previous version of the CX-5. Okay, so what the hell has changed then? Well, the Akira grade, this one that I'm in at the moment, gets a new 360 bird's eye view camera, which is really helpful for parking, and the Touring grade gets the head-up display, which the Akira and the GT have. It's one of the best head-up displays I think I've ever seen. It's so clear, it's so crystal sharp, excellent. Also, and this is the bit I think you'll be happiest about, there's been a price drop. The Max Sport and the Touring have dropped by $400, and the GT and the Akira have dropped by $800. Now, how that works out in terms of the total price depends on where you live, what state you're in, but basically the range now kicks off at about 28.5K and tops out at 49K. That's the list price as well before you add on all the stamp duty and the on-roads and stuff like that. But still, every little bit helps. Let's go for a drive. Okay, now in terms of those prices, if you want to find out exactly how much it's going to cost you to get into a CX-5, jump over to the car finder section of the website, carsguide.com.au. These CX-5s, these latest versions of them, are actually on sale now, so you can jump over to the car search part and find one for yourself and take it for a test drive. But don't go yet, don't go yet. I'm about to tell you something else that you need to know. What else has changed? And this is the big part that's changed. It's to the engines. Now, you know how so many car manufacturers are jumping into electric vehicles and hybrids like drunk people into a swimming pool at a party? Not Mazda. Look, Mazda will eventually have an electric vehicle that you can buy and a hybrid that you can buy, absolutely. But they don't think the combustion engine is quite dead yet. And what they're doing is, I think, a bit of a smarter move than maybe some of the others. They're refining the combustion engine even further. And that's what Mazda has done with the engines. Now, like before, there's a diesel and two petrols, and they all have more grunt, and they're all more fuel efficient. The diesel engine is a 2.2 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel. It's got a new turbo. The turbo has increased the grunt from 129 kilowatts in the old car to 140 in the new car, and torque is up as well from 420 to 450. That's really, really decent. Now that new turbocharger supposedly reduces the lag, which I complained about last time I drove it about a year ago in the Akira diesel video that I did. I also complained about the noise of the engine. Now what they've done is they've also refined the way that the diesel is combusted in the chamber. They've reduced that so-called diesel knock. Now hopefully that has also reduced, it's supposed to reduce the sound or the noisy sound that that diesel engine had previously. Now I'm not driving the car with the diesel engine at the moment. I'm in a petrol car. It's the Akira. Now there are two types of petrol engines. There's a 2 litre and a 2.5 litre, and this one is a 2.5 litre, and it's special. Well, the biggest change to these engines is the cylinder deactivation. This 4-cylinder engine can run on 2 when it's not under load. So just driving along like this now, it's just on 2 cylinders, and the difference is completely unnoticeable. It's brilliant. I don't feel like I'm, in a 2-cylinder car at all. Put your foot down and another 2 come to the party and you're back on 4 cylinders. A little tiny increase in grunt as well. Not huge, but fuel efficiency has been improved as well. The 2.5 litre petrol is an all-wheel drive. If you want a front-wheel drive, you have to go to the 2 litre petrol. And all diesels in the 2.2 litre diesel are all-wheel drive as well. Now Mazda hasn't changed the suspension to the car either, but that's a good thing. The ride is comfortable, the handling is good, the steering is smooth and accurate, and I really like the way it's weighted, and I love the way you sit quite low in these seats. You actually feel like you're actually part of the car rather than sitting on top of it. Okay, now for the diesel. It is quieter. It is quieter. That's pretty impressive. Yep, this new diesel engine is quieter. That's quite good. It's not as quiet as a petrol. That's a good way to tell. We'll just put it under load a bit. That does not sound too bad at all. It's definitely not as laggy as the last one. Let's slow down a bit and then do the foot to the floor. No, that's good. There's still a little bit of lag, but you're always going to get a little bit of lag with the turbo. Mazda have fixed those 2 little issues I had with the last diesel. It's quieter and there's not as much lag. Now the CX-5 comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox or a 6-speed automatic transmission. The manual is only available on the 2 litre petrol. The rest of the engines come with a 6-speed automatic, and it's fantastic. A lot of other car companies have gone with a CVT, and I'm just so happy that Mazda has stayed with a traditional torque converter automatic. It's such a good transmission. It doesn't mean the car revs noisily like a CVT, and it's not indecisive like a dual clutch can be. Now, I've been pretty glowing in my report of the car, and especially seeing as it hasn't changed a lot. But there are a few things I don't really like. I don't like that it doesn't come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Like, that would have been great for this update, which is what this really is, to have brought in those amazing things. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are fantastic. Also, the screen is still tiny. When it first came out, it wasn't tiny. 7 inches was a decent sized screen. But it would have been good to see that grow a little bit more too, as the other car makers have stepped up to bigger screens in different vehicles. What else is there? Yeah, look, by getting the Akira top grade spec, you get all the extra safety kit, advanced safety equipment, and it would have been good to see some of that filter down into the lower grades as well, and it hasn't. So it would have been good to see those things filter through too. Okay, yes, it looks exactly the same as the last one, and yes, not a lot else has changed. But this is one of the best looking, best driving SUVs in the segment, and it's more efficient, and now it's even better value for money.